Hey folks, for those of you Mac owners out there, pay attention. Today we are talking all about malware and how to protect your Mac so that if you ever do encounter it, you can remove it easily. I've got a lot of little tips and tricks to go over with you today, so let's get started. Coming up next on Tech Talk America. So usually when I'm doing my remote sessions with people, if we have extra time, one of the topics I always like to go over is basic security, because there's a lot of different scam artists out there online and you want to take the right steps to protect yourself. And thankfully, it's really, really easy. There's a piece of software that I Alright folks, welcome to my desktop. So when you're done downloading Malwarebytes and you open it up, this is what you're going to see. This is your dashboard, and as you can see here, it's pretty darn straightforward. One thing you might want to consider doing is just kind of tweaking how often you want your computer to automatically run Malwarebytes as a scan. The default is once an hour. You might not really need to do it that often, so if you do want to make that kind of a change, just go up here to the top left and under Preferences, you're going to go to the third tab that says Scheduled Scans, and you can just change this from every 1 hour to however often you want. The next thing I want to talk about is what you need to do if Malwarebytes ever does find malware running on your computer, because there are steps that you may need to take to prevent your computer from becoming immediately reinfected. So let's say I'm on my computer and after running Malwarebytes, it tells me that it has found something. What it's going to do at that point is it's going to move that file most likely to the trash, and at that point you could empty the trash, but what you really need to do at that point is restart your computer, because there are certain elements of it that will not clear out until you do so. So what I would do, if it finds something, restart your computer, then run Malwarebytes again, empty your trash, and there's one last step. So there is a very common form of adware that has the ability to alter your web browser's homepage. So let me give you an example of how this might look. Right now, I'm just going to open up Safari, and you can see that in my case here, it just kind of opens up to my favorites. Now, for some of you out there, you may have it go to a website, but one of the very common forms of adware is it'll make it go to a website that looks a little bit like google.com, but it's not google.com. Blah, 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 give us your money. You know, they changed my search, really whatever it is, just delete it and replace it with whatever website you want to appear when you first open your web browser. Could be Google, could be a social media page, hey, could be techtalkamerica.com, who knows? And then just simply close it by hitting the little red dot, and that will save it. There's another very common form of adware, which is basically referred to as a hijacked web browser. And the way that this works is you go to a website. A lot of times these tend to originate from adult websites. And what happens is it kind of puts your computer into this loop so that you open up your web browser, and usually the language that you will see resembles something to the extent of FBI warning, we've detected malicious files on your computer, pay us this amount of money, blah, 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 give us your money. You know, they change the language all the time, but in the end, they just want your money. So if you try to close your web browser, it basically doesn't let you.
Today we will be talking about malware to waste your money first off, but additionally if you're running two, which will automatically be activated. Now I've gone through the settings and options. Conditions are current, and then you can go ahead and just click on Scan Now. I've gone into the system preferences for this Mac under users, and there's not an option to disable it there either. So maybe I'm missing something. If any of you out there know if there's a way to disable it, please let me know. But the best I can tell, they don't have an option to disable it from startup. Now I've actually closed the Malwarebytes program. You can see that it's still running up here, and then I opened up the have in your computers. It may be different than what I have, but the bottom line, this is a problem for me because you should have an option to disable a program that you're not using, And so a lot of these little numbers add up,